Months of being unjustly detained in Russia, held under intolerable circumstances. Brittney will soon be back in the arms of her loved ones, and she should have been there all along.
Today is just a happy day for me and my family, so I'm gonna smile right now.
President Biden keeps his promises, and today he fulfilled a deeply important promise to bring Brittney Griner home to a family that loves her, a team that misses her, and a country that has marveled at her strength and courage.
Our sister is finally free. This is a huge moment for everyone who has shown compassion, who have shown empathy for our WNBA sister over the last 294 days.
Our top story tonight, after nearly 10 months, Phoenix Mercury star Brittney Griner is free and coming back home.
This is great news. She had been in jail in Russia for almost a year on drug charges. The U.S. just negotiated a prisoner swap to bring her back home finally. And within the last 90 minutes, we got new video of BG leaving the prison camp where she was being held for weeks, and you can see her packing up her things, getting ready to go home.
We also have video of the actual prisoner swap recorded from the Russian side. That's Griner in a red jacket changing places with Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, who was held in the U.S. for 10 years. The swap happening at an airport in the United Arab Emirates. And here is video of Griner getting on the plane for the roughly 14-hour flight back to the U.S. It's something Brittney's family and the Mercury have been waiting a long time for.
So we've got team coverage for you tonight. Political editor Dennis Welch is here with reaction from lawmakers. But first, C. McLaughlin is here in studio with an exclusive interview right now with Mercury head coach Vanessa Nyguaard. Scene.
Yeah, Derek, thank you so much. Head coach Vanessa Nyguaard from the Phoenix Mercury, thanks for joining us. Full disclosure, we're both basketball parents. Our daughters play on the same team. Just now, looking at that video, what hit you there?
Just emotion. This morning when I heard the news, I just burst into tears. My children started screaming when they heard it was 6 a.m. And it's just a relief for so many people. I'm so happy for BG and her whole family and our whole community.
What did you think when you saw her there in the red jacket, packing up her stuff in the prison camp? Can you even imagine what she's been going through these past 290 some days?
It seems like it was atrocious every single day. And every day that we had our own difficulties and our own challenges within our season, I was never in a position to feel sorry for myself, always knowing that BG was going through so much. And it is a relief to know she's coming home, and the things she's seen and endured, it's a credit to her perseverance as an individual and her strength.
Let's talk about the season, because on January 24th, you were named head coach of the Phoenix Mercury, taking over for Sandy Brondello, now coach of the New York Liberty. 17 days later, one of your star players was detained. You all found out early March. What was going through your mind back then?
Well, BG, in the previous season, I said, arguably the best player in the league, best player in the world. She should have been MVP that season. And, you know, those of you who follow the league, there's been 19 dunks in WNBA history. BG's got 17 of them. So this is an absolutely dominant force. And to lose her that early, but we didn't know. We really didn't know how long. They kept saying, oh, it'll just be a short amount of time. It'll just be a little bit longer than the war in Ukraine. Then just time kept going on.
5 days later, after she was detained,
5 days later,
Russia declared war on Ukraine. And so take us back to that day that she was sentenced. It was in the summer. You guys were on the road.
Yeah.
We listened to your emotional news conference after that game. Where was the headspace of the team at that point?
Yeah, everywhere we went for the whole season, it was the story, right? And we wanted that because we wanted the media. You know, in women's sports, we get 4% of the media. So whenever we can amplify that, we really tried our best as a whole group in the WNBA and the Players Association to amplify her message. So everywhere we went, we were the big story. But on this day, we were at shoot around, and I was on the court with my assistants, and the players were in the locker room watching the sentencing. And it just became so real on that moment. She was sentenced to 9 years, and we all know she was wrongfully detained. Our lawmakers have declared her wrongfully detained, as well as many other Americans. And to hear the sentencing, to have it blown out of proportion like that, and then to try to play a basketball game there, it was incredibly difficult. You know, the players on the other team rallied around us. It was a nationally televised game, of course.
Right.
And it was just really, really hard. The whole year, the girls were carrying the burden for their sisters.
Well, what happens now? Have you talked to the team? Are you talking to the team tonight?
We're connecting as a group. We're reaching out and making sure that we have support for each other. And, you know, it's still going to be a process of BG coming back in, but just want to make sure, as we did all season, the mental health of BG and the mental health of our athletes is paramount importance to us. And so we want to make sure they're all supported.
And finally, you were talking to me on the phone earlier today. You said a statement, only in America. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, you know, there's so many things in our country that seem divisive sometimes, and it makes you disappointed. But to see that this group of women rallied around their teammate, their sister, and our administration, our government made this important to bring back this athlete, it makes me proud to be an American. And I'm so happy to have her come home. She's a great American, and it's a statement about who we are, that we value Brittney Griner.
Great. Head coach Vanessa Nyguaard, thank you. Good luck with the team meeting tonight. Derek, Yetta, we'll turn it back over to you.
Coach, thank you so much for being here. I got a couple questions. I know it's early, but I'm wondering, what is the first thing you and the team are going to do when she comes back to the arena?
Yeah, well, I mean,
the signs
there's
are already
so
being
many.
Changed today.
Yeah, they're changing the signs. BG's coming home. You know, I think there's just a process for her coming back in. So we want to be gentle with that, understanding of that. We're so happy to have her back, and you know, taking our time. You know, we have a couple months here before we start, but just welcoming her back in and making her known how much we love her.
Have you spoken with her since this news?
No, I have not. Hopefully soon we'll be able to connect.
And that first game, when she's back on the court, that's going to be a moment.
Well, even if she decides, we don't know if she's going to continue or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot to unfold as she's coming back, and we've been waiting a very long time for this. Great news. Coach, thank you so much for being here in studio with us.